On this video, I'm going to be reviewing my new AP 15202 Royal Oak Jumbo Blue Dial. So check this out, guys. When you see me do a video about my new watch, understand I already put the money up for it. So you know you're getting a genuine review. So I just picked up this new AP 39mm Royal Oak Jumbo. And let me tell you that this is actually not a watch that I was searching for. I never even thought I would buy one. It just really didn't get my attention that much. And I also want to say that there's not many of these watches around. Recently, AP just released the new version of the 15202, which is almost exactly like this one, but this is the older version, and that's what got my attention. One of the first things about this model that got my attention is that it just screams Genta from the 70s. It's one of those APs that I feel still has that essence of the original Gerald Genta design. With that pointy protruding crown that it has and the no second hand on the dial, for me it just gives it that ultra vintage look. It has a blue dial, and that's one of the most important factors for me. Not sure if I would have bought it if it didn't have the blue dial. That for me is kind of what sealed the deal. Another thing about this watch that I like to point out is that for me, it's pretty much the closest thing that Audemars Piguet has to the Patek Phillipe 5711. In my opinion, it's pretty much the direct competitor. For those of you that don't know at home, the difference between the 15300 and the 15202 is that the 15202 is an ultra thin. That already changes the watch a lot. What happens is, in my opinion, with the 39mm 15300 being the regular thickness, it kind of makes the watch look weird. Almost like if the watch looks smaller than it really is, believe it or not. Which is kind of something different, because usually thickness makes a watch look bigger. But there's something about the proportions of the 15202 for me that just calls my attention more than the 15300. This model comes with the 2121 movement, which is completely different than the standard 3120 movement. Something about that watch when you look at it from the back that is just a stunner as well. I bought this watch because I got a decent deal on it and because there's barely any of them going around. I feel that this watch may rise in the next 3 to 5 years. So it's a 2007. I got it with box and papers and all the links. Lord knows that these links are probably a little bit difficult to find. It's bad enough to find a regular 15300 links. These being a lot thinner, it's gonna make it a lot more challenging. Another thing I wanna point out about this watch that is the only thing that I really don't like is the clasp. AP opted to use their traditional AP logo clasp, which for me was a bit stubborn. You know, when you close the bracelet, it sits all on one side. That to me is just something that I don't like. Perhaps maybe if it had a couple more removable links on this side, you'd be able to balance the clasp out. That's the only thing that I would have preferred. I'd rather have the clasp that comes on the 15300. So when I compare this watch to the standard 15400 in the 41mm, I wouldn't say that I like it better. I would say that they're two total different things. I feel like this is a bit more of an important, elegant watch, as opposed to the 15400 has more of a sportier vibe as opposed to this one. Maybe it's the fact that it's the jumbo extra thin. That to me has a lot to do with it. It just makes the watch that more classier as opposed to its counterparts by it being thin. Another thing I was looking at for about 20 minutes with a loop when I was buying this dial, because I just didn't know, was that the 15 right next to the date window is actually cut in half. At first I thought maybe perhaps, you know, the dial was damaged and it had gotten scraped off. But then when I did some research on the internet, I realized that that's just the way it comes. So I'm happy about my new watch and I wanted to share it with you guys. I'm hoping that I get plenty of wrist time, and I've already gotten several people asking me, hey, what's that? What's going on your wrist? The only thing I would also say besides the clasp is, a lot of these older model APs, not even going so far back, even the 15400, the blue is a little bit dark. It's almost like a black, okay? Depending on the sunlight, it shines, sometimes it doesn't. But nevertheless, it is blue and I'm very excited about it. Prices. Right now, when you search these watches, you're gonna see them anywhere from the high 30s to the mid 40s. Pretty impressive considering about 6-7 years ago, these watches were $15,000. So I'm hoping to keep this one because I'm thinking it will rise. Besides the fact, I just like it. It's something different and it's definitely a conversation piece. Feel free to comment below what you think about my Royal Oak Jumbo 15202. And if you like this video, like and share it. Also, subscribe to my channel.